No, I would like to.
To be quite honest with you, I'd much rather bowl either Dave Tuell or Jimmy Certain.
Speaking of that, Dave Tuell starting on the left lane, the right thing to do, I believe, because the left lane is definitely the lane that these guys have to master. Hooks much earlier than the right lane.
Initial appearance on ESPN for the lawyer from the state of Washington. Pretty good shot, shakes him around, leaves the soft 7.
Well, he got a split in his practice balls, and when he got the split, he told Chuck Bazzano, our coordinator, that says, I'm starting on the left lane, and then he did strike the last ball. He moved in a little bit deeper where there's oil. There is oil left of the third arrow. They swing it wide, has a tendency to hook early.
To the spare ball for the opening shot, and by the 7-pin it goes. So the newcomer on the PBA Senior Tour with a miscue in the first.
And the nightmare, you know, just let me get out of the gate with the spare and I'll feel good. My nerves will be settled. Whack. He misses the spare.
And against a seasoned vet like Jimmy Certain, that's not normally going to help the cause. 5-pin does a little dance, but neglects to take out the 7.
But I think Jimmy will make it.
I'm going to say if I were a betting man, the odds would be pretty good on him converting. Certain with an opening match victory over John Handegard, 216 to 163. In case you've just joined us, game number 2 of the $75,000 St. Charles AMF Bobcat Senior Classic. A quick 11-pin lead for Jimmy Certain. Next in line, our host, Dick Weber.
Hall of Famer Dick Weber.
John Hersina, our top seed this week, a powerful, strong player from Pennsylvania. Certain has tightened up the line considerably, and a bit of a Weber wall shot that time on lane 25.
Actually, as I watched Jimmy bowl all week long, when he hit in that position, he struck almost every time. That light hit like that, he just rattled him around every time.
Excellent shot as Tuell bounces back on lane 26.
His first strike in the championship round, and he threw it very, very well. You look at his approach. Watch, he moves that left foot, and he pushes the ball, and it gets slightly early, but he makes it come out right here. It's in time, a nice slide. Look at how steady the head is. Left arm out there for balance, pretty good form. He seems a little mechanical, a little stiff, but his timing's really pretty good.
Strikes here, he could cut the lead to 1. A little better speed. Gets a break, though, leaving just the 6 and the 10.
That left lane is the lane that they have to master. He's really in trouble there because of his slow speed. He throws slower than anyone else on the telecast tonight. And when you ease up on that speed that's already slow, the ball wants to bite very, very quickly.
And of course, that was a key all week long. You had to be firm and good speed the first 15 to 20 feet of the lane. No problem with the 6 and the 10 for the man who sponsored Earl Anthony on the tour from 1970 through 1977. That's an interesting note.
Certainly is. And he beat Earl by a lot of pins in this tournament. Trying for the double.
Interesting the way Certain is playing the lanes, though. He has tightened up his line considerably from the opening game.
Well, what happens, Dan, especially in this bowling center, is as they bowl, the oil or the dressing on the lane gets carried down the lane by the bowling balls. In many centers, that hurts the scores, but in this center, it makes them better. And so the scores should get better as we progress on in the telecast tonight.
Certain leads by 21, could extend it to 31 if he strikes here in the 4th. Had a couple of turkeys in game number 1. Reaches out, rolls up, shakes him around, and 7-pin.
7-pin again. Similar hit that he had in the first frame. Figures, though, just as I talked about, he carries that hit every single time, then he leaves the 7-pin the next time he comes in there. Is it going to carry? No.
He's been watching too much of George Foreman, I think. This is a stare down. So for Jimmy Certain, he leads here in game number 2. We'll be back with a conclusion after these messages.
We see that he beat Jimmy Certain in the match play, 260 to 230, so he can throw the strikes when he gets them going.
And a very consistent week this week, so he just wanted to come out and have some fun, and I think he's accomplished that goal.
Yes, I sure. Yeah, he does.
A little better speed, a little better attempt with the fingers as well. Ball starting to roll off of Tuell's hand.
Well, he's throwing the ball very well on lane 26. Again, he just has to get 25 under control. Unfortunately, they make us bowl on 2 lanes out here, Dan. It doesn't do any good to just hit one.
If you were playing right now and you had thrown the shots that Dave has, what would your adjustment be on lane 25?
I would try and hedge in a little bit more to get the ball in the oil first.
So you would move your feet or your target?
I might move my feet a little bit left.
Okay. Better roll up, and probably the best shot that he has thrown, and gets stung with a ringing 10 pin.
Well, he made the adjustment. He picked up the speed a little bit, and it looked like he had a slightly deeper angle. And solid 10 pins, unfortunately, are part of the game.
A member of the law firm of Tuell, Anderson, Fisher, and Kopp. I wonder if the other partners are pulling at this point. One thing is for sure, when this one's all said and done, there are no appeals.
No appeals at all.
Fifth frame, game number 2. Dick Weber next in line. John Hersina, our top seed this week. Well, you have to like the way Certain is keeping the ball on line and still giving it the heavy roll.
Well, he's getting it into that oil with a little bit better speed than Tuell has, and it's not really covering as many boards. Get a different view of Jimmy's shot here. A little short follow through. That's as high as it ever gets. There's the result. Boy, that was just a picture shot. They say the perfect strike is where the ball hits the 1-3-5-9 if you're a right-hander, and that's what that ball did right there.
Will it be a repeat performance? This one light, the 2-pin stands for the player who has earned over $330,000 in his PBA career.
His inability to strike on lane 25 is keeping Dave Tuell in the match, but Dave Tuell can't strike on lane 25 either. At the 2-pin. No trouble.